I don't care if you own a business or not, it is absolutely crucial that you get your LLC. What's up, you guys? My name is Jaden and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys for coming back for yet another video. Today we're going to be talking about LLCs. Yes, it may not be the most entertaining thing to talk about, but it's something as a business owner that you need to know about because it's so important. And I know on my entrepreneurship journey, when I first got started, I was super confused, didn't even know what an LLC was, nor did I even know how to do taxes or any of that. But that falls in line with taxes. You need one, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and explain exactly what you need to do to be able to get your LLC. And I'm also gonna be talking about the benefits of having one. So if you are excited for that, make sure you go ahead and drop a like. That lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content here on the channel. Leave a comment down below what you guys wanna see from me in the future. And also hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. I hope that you guys don't mind me sitting back and relax. A little bit different view than we usually are used to, but I kinda like it. I think it's more chill. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. All right, so LLC. So what is an LLC? An LLC stands for Limited Liability Company, and this is what protects your personal from your business. And the example that I want to use for this is a supplement brand, okay? Because supplements are very easy to explain for this type of scenario. And it's something that I'm very comfortable with because my very first taste of success in e-commerce was by selling supplements. I owned a company called In Performance, which is a Garcinia Cambogia pill. I also paired it with a green coffee bean extract and I sold them together. Basically what it does is allows you, or it helps you in losing weight by suppressing your appetite and also reducing your sugar cravings. But anyways, let's just say, for example, someone got sick off of my Garcinia Cambogia pills, right? And they tried to sue me. And I didn't have an LLC. Now what's gonna end up happening is they're gonna come after me specifically. They can come after my home, they can come after my car, they can come after whatever if, push come to shove. But if I have an LLC, now they're gonna be suing the business. They're not gonna be suing me. You never want to be put in that situation where now, your home is at risk. I mean, do I really even need to explain why that is? It's something that you really don't wanna mess with. So the LLC is gonna protect you. And the way that you're gonna be able to form this LLC is by going online and just filing it yourself, or you can pay a company to do it. Me personally, I like to just pay someone to do it. I like to use LegalZoom or InkFile. Right now, my main LLC is the one that I use the most, is from InkFile. I paid a couple $100. They did the whole thing for me, gave me my EIN number, which you're also gonna need. Pretty much what your EIN number is your, let's just call it your social security number, but for your business, okay? This is how you're gonna be able to file everything. This is how the IRS is gonna be able to, track you down pretty much. So you need an EIN number, you need your LLC, and you also need a registered agent. And InkFile, LegalZoom, they have all these services for you. I believe they offer the registered agent for free for the first year. So if you don't know what a registered agent is and why you would need one, first off, if you have your own storefront, you probably can just, not have the registered agent and just be your own registered agent. But if you work from home like myself, it's very important that you get a registered agent. So your registered agent basically serves as a middleman between you and someone that, either is trying to reach out to you or trying to sue you. Let's just use this suing for example. So say if someone tried to sue you, what's gonna be, public record is your registered agent's address. So if someone was to sue you, they're gonna go ahead and serve those documents to your registered agent. Your registered agent's gonna open them and then they're gonna communicate with you and say, hey, this person is trying to sue you. So it's gonna be like a middleman in between. And the reason why you want this is because, again, it is public record. So I work from home, I don't want my home address online, so I'm gonna have a registered agent who's gonna be able to serve that. But if I had my own storefront, obviously you wouldn't care if you had, if you were your own registered agent because you have a storefront. You want people to come to your store anyways, right? So that's at least the way I think of it. Now, a lot of people will tell you not to get an LLC right away until you start making some revenue. Now, while there are some truths to that, I have to disagree just because of the fact that, I think the faster that you can get it, the better. Because you don't have to have a business to be able to get an LLC. You could be taking advantage of all the tax breaks, without a business. But for your business, the reason why you're gonna want it, a lot faster is just because one, the protection, like I spoke of before, but two, it just starts you off on the right note, and then you're organized. And I'm speaking from experience because my first year, I didn't know what the fuck an LLC was, and my taxes were all over the place. I was mixing my personal with my business. I had everything on one card. It was just a nightmare come tax time. And it's just very important that you just start off on the right note. You have your LLC, you're good to go, you're protected, and you don't have anything to worry about. Now, I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, but I do want to say a quick disclaimer that I'm not a tax advisor, but I'm going to go ahead and explain to you how I have mine set up, and then you can go ahead and do with that information, as you please. So I have my LLC set up as an S Corp. I'm not a tax genius, but I know that that's the most beneficial for me and for small business owners. Also, it sets you up as an employee. So pretty much you're gonna be picking your own salary, and then you're gonna be paying yourself through the business. So that's pretty much the best way to set up your LLC, at least for my situation and majority of people that are doing e-commerce. A lot of them have S Corps. So do speak with your tax advisor about that, because I had to switch my CPA maybe 2 or 3 times within the first couple years, which I don't recommend. Find somebody good and stick with them long term so they understand your situation. You don't want to be midway through your business and then have to hand it to somebody else, because that's more of a pain in the ass than anything. But nonetheless, make sure that you try to stick with at least one CPA and just allow them to better your situation and get to know your business better, because that's the best way to really do it. So for the next part of this video, I want to talk about tax deductions, because a lot of people know, some of the more popular tax deductions, but they don't know some other things that they could be really taking advantage of. So the first thing that you can obviously write off is your LLC. So your LLC is pretty much free if you think about it. So you can write off your LLC. You can also write off all of your marketing expenses. So marketing expenses have always been my highest deduction, and it's something that I like to take advantage of if I'm really trying to bring my final number down. Is marketing expenses. So if you're running Facebook ads, TikTok ads, if you're paying influencers, whatever the case may be, it's completely 100% you can write it off. Now, the second thing that you could be writing off, and this is one that a lot of people don't know about, is the mileage on your car. So if you're an e-commerce store owner that does their packages manually, I know me personally, I was doing my packages for the first 3 years of my business. I did everything. I was a one-man machine, and I would do all of my packages in my home, and then I would package them up and I would take them to the post office. Now that commute from my home to the post office, that is all deductible, and you can literally track the mileage using an app called Mile IQ. You can look it up on your phone. I believe it's on Android as well. And basically you will just track the mileage every single time that you go out to take your packages or whatever, anything business related as far as trips go. And then at the end, you can print it out and then give it to your CPA and you can write it off. Now, it's not gonna be a huge tax deduction, but once you start making more and more money, every penny counts. So anything that you could write off and not have to give to Uncle Sam, trust me, you're gonna wanna do it. Which leads me to the next thing that you can write off, which is travel. So if you're going on a business trip, you can write off the whole trip. Another thing that I like to use a lot is if you're going on a business dinner. Let's just say, for example, you were going out to dinner with one of your employees, or you were going out to dinner with a potential client. That is completely write off. It doesn't matter if you take them to Applebee's, it doesn't matter if you take them to the top restaurant in the world. It is completely 100%, you could write it off with no problems. And real quick, just to run through a few more expenses, I'm not gonna go through every single one, but I wrote down a few more. Your phone bill, you can write it off as long as you're using it for business purposes. You don't have to necessarily have a whole business line. For me, I was able to write off my personal phone because I was able to say, obviously I use it for business purposes. So I was able to write off a portion of that. Your office supplies, so if you buy paper, pens, notepads, whatever the case may be for your business, you can also write that off. Your printer, your toner, your ink, all of that stuff is all tax write-offs. Your rent is a very tricky one because you can't just write off your entire rent if you're living at home. If you have like a warehouse or if you have a office space, you can write it off. But if you work from home like me, you're gonna have to write off a specific square footage of your home. So for me, I work inside of a room, so I would take the square footage of my room and then I'd be able to write off a portion of my rent. So I'm not sure how they calculate it, but it's usually about a couple $100 depending on how much your rent is. And lastly, your car. Your car is something that you could write off. It's a little bit of a tricky situation. It kind of ties in with the tax write-off that I talked about before, which was Mile IQ. But you can write off your car for certain things. So a quick little play for you is that a lot of people are buying G-Wagons. If you ever wonder why a lot of the rich have G-Wagons, it's because the majority of the time they just write it off. It is a car that is extremely heavy. I forget what it is, but there's something in the tax code that says if you purchase a car over a certain weight, you can write off the entire amount of the car on the first year. So G-Wagon falls into that category. So let's just say if the car, I don't know how much it is, let's just say the car is 130K, you could write off that 130K on your taxes for that 1 year. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope that you guys took some sort of value from this. I know that LLCs isn't the most flashy thing to talk about, but at the end of the day, this is something that's very important and something that you need to take extremely, extremely serious. Do not put off getting an LLC for too long. I would say max maybe 2 to 3 months, but if you can get it right away, just do it. Don't wait till you start getting some revenue, because at the end of the day, if your excuse is that you don't want to get it because you haven't made any money, then that gives you an easy out to just be like, you know what, I don't want to do business anymore, okay? That way, when you get your LLC, you've invested now, and it kind of just locks you in and makes you motivated to go out and try to succeed. So anyways, if you guys got some value from this video, make sure you go ahead and drop a like, leave a comment below. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll do my best to try to answer all the comments. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in next week's upload.